Well, hello, and welcome to the greatest new startup wrestling promotion in the world. It's Updog Blues Wrestling. It's here, me, Connell, joined by Slayer Mathis.
It is a great job to be out here in Updog Blues Wrestling. We are here for our inaugural Rumble, our first men's Rumble of our company.
Okay, yeah, so the kick-off of the company, we're going to have 4 Royal Rumbles. 2 qualifying Rumbles for the men, 2 for the women, and the 2 winners will face each other at our first pay-per-view, which I haven't named yet, to crown our first men's and women's Multiversal Champion. And of course, ring announcer Mike Rome going over the rules. The 30 men this match, we had like 8 people pick characters from all across fiction or real world or anything. Each Updog has 4 reps. Con, Matthew, and Benji have 3, and then there's 1 wild card in here. And yeah, that's just how it works. As we wait to see who's coming in first.
Already getting some nice pyro coming in.
And what a very appropriate first man to enter the Updog Blues ring. It's Venom.
Venom's truly someone that you have to fear if you're anyone in the ring. I mean, if I'm in the back and I'm seeing Venom come out first, I am fearing for my life. Venom, a proper villain, someone who has been terrorizing New York City for years now, and he hasn't been able to be stopped. Eddie Brock, ready to come in and be a Brock of our own.
Across many wrestling companies in the world, men named Brock have a tendency to dominate. Let's see if it's the same for Eddie here tonight. But you do have to say that despite Venom being one of the most dominant forces possibly in this company, I mean, we haven't seen who was in this ring yet, but he's the sort of person who can go from number 1 and go all the way.
He's someone who I could definitely see going all the way. Of course, does have some of those Spidey powers, can potentially have some classic Kofi Kingston spots, saving himself from elimination with some webs up to the ceiling. But that's something that we never know if we're going to be able to see this.
But the real question is who will be the opening adversary of Venom in the first match here of Updog Blues Wrestling. I can feel I'm getting a bit chilly. Are you getting a bit chilly in here?
It is a wee bit cold right now.
Oh, well, that explains it. The Arctic winds gushing out from the back. It's a goddamn polar bear.
It's a full-blown polar bear. And yes, we are getting wild out here in Updog Blues Wrestling.
Real
you know
polar
all
bear.
About the polar bear.
Yeah, what have I got to say? Do I just whip up the polar bear's Wikipedia right now? And I can tell you all about the polar bear. Of course, wrestling bears are tradition across the world, but I don't think I've ever seen a polar bear against something. Let's see what he can do against Venom.
And truly, some chilling music coming across here. More chilling than Julia Hart on Dynamite. Versus Martimus, ready to come in and fight against a full-blown symbiote. And
a polar bear. Who wins this fight?
This is one that it is tough to tell right away.
Of course, the polar bear is the largest extant species of bear and land carnivore, with adult males weighing between 300 and 800 kilograms, which is roughly 700 to 1,800 pounds. This polar bear right here is at least 700 pounds.
And that is something that you really can't see. We have never seen anyone quite as big since Crash Holly.
Venom and the polar bear. I'd say that Andrew Everett did run the polar bear close, and Venom looks to eliminate the polar bear early.
Right away, going early. Venom is out of here. A polar bear with the wise being on his
I guess we've got to immediately jump to entrant number 3 because the polar bear's dominating. It's Harambe!
Oh my god! I can't believe it!
What a start to this Rumble. Venom out, Harambe in. And Goliath. This is like Godzilla and King Kong if Godzilla was a 700-pound polar bear.
And this really is a battle of nature right now. A polar bear. That apex predator mindset to be able to eliminate Venom. But right now, he has to go and hunt down Harambe. Gorilla, something very different.
I almost don't want anyone else to join and break up this fight, but there are 30 men.
30 men looking to be the multiverse. Oh my lord! Can't be!
Son Goku himself. If anybody can eliminate Harambe or a polar bear, You have to think it's Son Goku.
Already, we are getting into some interesting ways. Yes, here at Updog Blues Wrestling.
I don't mean to jump because we have yet to really find out where people fall on the totem pole here in this brand new company, but we could be looking at 3 main eventers right now in the ring.
We could absolutely, but the problem right now I see with Goku in this Rumble is that he might not be taking it seriously. He's not even in any Saiyan form right now.
He's not in Saiyan form. Dr. Doofenshmirtz!
Dr. Doofenshmirtz, really the star of the show, and here he is, Dr. Doofenshmirtz, looking to be a championator.
He is going to win the Royal Rumble later, but is there a platypus controlling him tonight? We'll have to find out.
Dr. Doofenshmirtz, of course, another evil mastermind, but this one, I think he has a lot more of the smarts compared to Venom. Not going to be charging at the polar bear, instead taking his time, a much more methodical approach from Dr. Doofenshmirtz.
You know there's some formidable foes in the ring. When, oh my, speaking of formidable foes.
Some of them may die, but that is a sacrifice he is willing to make. Lord Farquaad into the ring right away, and now he's up to a big task right now.
As I was saying before, Lord Farquaad, you know this ring is stacked with threats when you say he's being smart by attacking Son Goku.
Lord Farquaad, of course, does have that height disadvantage, but it's potentially that he might be too small. That
at least I know that Rey Mysterio, who can forget Rey Mysterio winning the Royal Rumble from number 2, Lord Farquaad would have to channel that. And here comes Starling Archer.
The number 1 professional secret agent in the world, Sterling Archer, ready to use all of his wits. And he already has the polar bear in the sleeper hold. He is trying to choke out the polar bear. I think he's actually killing the polar bear.
Oh no, the polar bear's fighting back.
And a great recovery by the polar bear in order to go out, and nature
going on.
Sterling Archer is out of here. Harambe is going to eliminate the top agent at ISIS.
It's Tyrus!
It's the real wrestler coming in, Tyrus!
Tyrus is here! I think now, business just picked up. We all know Tyrus could beat Goku in a one-on-one fight.
And that really is the thing here. A lot of these people, they aren't professionally trained wrestlers, while Tyrus is the realest wrestler that we've ever seen.
If you don't like Tyrus, as they say, you're not a real wrestling fan. He's just that damn good.
Tyrus, someone who is just absolutely dominant, but he is being tossed around by the polar bear. Oh my! Paul Heyman, look out for your dad. Paul Heyman is
Dr. Doofenshmirtz, that is a father, I can confirm.
Paul Heyman goes right after Doofenshmirtz.
There are a lot of fathers in this ring. I can confirm Paul Heyman's first move in Updog Blues Wrestling is laying out a father. Couldn't have said it any better myself. And we're going to be 1/3 of the way through this stacked match.
Paul Heyman is certainly someone who knows the business well and knows all the dads well.
And here comes Harry Kane, England's top goal scorer. Well, not actually top goal scorer, but he's got a bit of a lot on his mind right now. So, you know, who's going to know how he's going to fare? You know, he's got that transfer to Bayern Munich moving on his head. Can that affect how he acts in the ring? Goku laying out Harambe with a high cross.
Some real strong work out here. A bunch of top tier competitors in this ring. I
am getting in my ear from Mr. Malloy that we will be postponing entrances to this match until somebody gets eliminated.
8 people in the match at a time. The ring just can't handle this much star power.
Especially, you know, when one of them is a polar bear, and one of them is Harambe.
The polar bear still in from number 2, essentially the same as number 1.
Yeah, but Venom, who could forget Venom was number 1. He lasted about 20 seconds. And Harry Kane and Harambe going out in the corner. Harambe could be in trouble.
Harry Kane, a professional athlete in his own right. Number of good athletes in here, especially between Harry Kane and, of course, the real pro wrestler,
Tyrus. And you could say Paul Heyman.
Paul Heyman.
He's not an athlete, he has got experience, and he could be eliminating Goku right now.
He's working on Goku.
And Tyrus and Dr. Doofenshmirtz in the other corner over there.
Holding it up on Goku's crotch.
Look out, Paul Heyman. Oh no, Dr. Doofenshmirtz! Tyrus eliminated. Curse you, Perry the Platypus. I mean Tyrus the wrestler.
I think that what we couldn't see is Perry the Platypus might have had his hands on the outside of the ring, on the apron, pulled.
Who knows? Who knows? Perry Platypus might be in this Royal Rumble. Who knows? We just don't know who's going to show up.
Anything is possible here in Updog.
As you can see, you see a polar bear and Harambe going at it.
And they have been at it back and forth for a long time. They have been at each other's necks for the entirety of their time in this ring together.
Tyrus and Paul Heyman going at it. I will say that this Royal Rumble, you know, a lot of the wrestlers might not be in fully fit shape for this Royal Rumble. When we see these guys in the future, they might look a little bit different. But anyway, here comes number 11.
Tyrus unsure of his fathership status.
But Harambe is of course a father as well. And the Ultimate Warrior is number 11.
He's about to load the rockets for you all.
Yeah, now
the Ultimate Warrior is here.
I mean, you'll know, I do say that a lot of wrestling fans' dream match is Ultimate Warrior versus Tyrus. And they are both in that ring right now.
We have the power to bring people back from the dead. Lord Farquaad missing, or maybe Harambe.
I mean, we've known we can bring people back from the dead since Harambe ended at number 3.
And Farquaad doing some good work on there. Of course, rest in peace, Harambe, and also the Warrior, I guess. Right now,
rest in peace to Harambe. Ultimate Warrior is also deceased.
Polar Bear just manhandling Lord Farquaad. Just significant size disadvantage, but Farquaad has done a good job of...
Harambe and Heyman. Oh, Goku's in trouble there. Now Harry Kane, the Ultimate Warrior going out. They need to get on their feet.
Goku still a nice running boot to Harambe.
To the face of Harambe. And Tyrus and the Warrior going at it up there.
Truly a dream match for the ages.
A match you can only see in Updog Blues Wrestling. As is Son Goku versus Paul Heyman.
Right now, a lot of the field down for a short time. Lord Farquaad going right at Harambe and looking to eliminate him potentially.
This would be a huge elimination. The smallest man in the ring.
Goku! And Harambe struggling, hand on the bottom rope. He's big enough that he can hold both the top and bottom ropes, and I think that might have helped him survive. And now the Polar Bear.
A big spinning powerbomb to Paul Heyman.
Spinning powerbomb.
Goku's got Harry Kane in trouble now. I think he's gone. Goku's going for that powerbomb. It could be all over for Harry Kane.
Goku with the Spirit Bomb.
And he did just get Kane.
Harry Kane.
And now Tyrus. Oh!
A formidable showing from the footballer, but in the end, with a group of competitors like this, it's difficult to find your way through, as the Polar Bear just skinning the cat,
I guess
skinning the seal, as you should say. Now Polar Bear and Harambe again working against each other, and I think the Polar Bear might have chipped a tooth on that landing.
Oh, Farquaad in trouble now. Harambe and Farquaad, that's a mismatch. I've ever seen one. You've seen the Great Khali versus Rey Mysterio. Now you've seen Lord Farquaad versus Harambe.
Polar Bear with Heyman up, letting that blood rush away from the dick and into the head. I believe just one father in sight. As down he goes.
That would be Goku, of course.
Paul Heyman, of course, looking to manage some clients in more ways than one. And number 12,
it's Ben 10.
Just 2 spots, a little bit too late, but Ben 10 with a lot of power and Tyrus nearly out of here.
Harambe couldn't quite get him out there. Now Ben 10 looking to confront Tyrus. That's a mismatch. That's a little child in the ring.
And the Ultimate Warrior punching down that small child wouldn't be the biggest controversy in his career.
He did, it would be more controversial if he went all the way tonight. Tyrus with a pop-up powerbomb to the podium.
Amazing show of strength, and Harambe looking to eliminate Tyrus, and instead goes in for that ripcord knee, and still impressive agility by Harambe. That nice spinning Rana to the Ultimate Warrior.
I believe just busted Goku open with an STO.
And Tyrus, a big punch to the gut. Harambe is going to be feeling that for a while, and now Farquaad. Big hit to him, and once again, a Polar Bear and Harambe going at each other. And you gotta think, on social media, we might be seeing these two get into a little bit of a war. They have been fighting against each other
That is a point I haven't mentioned. They have everyone in this account on this roster does have new X accounts of which they can tweet their displeasure.
Of course, for some of our people who do not speak English, such as the Polar Bear or Harambe, we do have translators to directly...
Harambe and the Polar Bear. This is looking like a feud for the ages right now. These two have been going at it since entrant number 3. Venom was number 1, and he got eliminated in short order, and then these two have just been going at it ever since.
It's all the time going back and forth, and now Ben 10 with the Warrior in there and that nice DDT.
Oh, Farquaad's out!
Tyrus, the strength of a real wrestler, taking out Farquaad, but right away Harambe not letting him rest, and I've
been impressed with Harambe tonight.
Harambe and a Polar Bear have done fantastic in this match so far. Both of them staying in from very early on and not really having too many situations where you think they might be eliminated. Really, I think that is because
that was that one time there where Polar Bear skinned the seal. Other than that, I couldn't tell you any other time he was in trouble. And Tyrus!
Their physical advantage.
Laying waste to Goku. All of those great galactic threats that Goku's faced throughout his life. None compared to the mammoth of a man that is Tyrus.
And none of them have faced up against the Ultimate Warrior. Those intergalactic threats, Warrior knows them well.
And here comes the Red Ranger, Rocky DeSantos, number 13.
And speaking of intergalactic threats, people fighting intergalactic threats, Harambe, not intergalactic, but a threat nonetheless. Red Ranger
everybody in this ring is a threat, none more so than Paul Heyman's. Manhandling Goku and the Polar Bear right now.
We are unsure of if the Polar Bear has any cubs, but Paul Heyman trying to lift up the beefy legs.
My god, he has grabbed the beefy legs, still in the ring, of course. But...
and still working on a Polar Bear is Paul Heyman, but punched down, and Tyrus, I think, might have been busted open by Goku. That big punch from the Saiyan.
Oh, Heyman's in trouble! Polar Bear's got Heyman.
Down here, but a nice counter by Heyman.
And Ben 10's eliminated Goku! And Heyman's gone!
And 2 quick eliminations of some people who I think might have been favorites. Goku, I mentioned this when he came out, maybe not taking this seriously because he's not as a Saiyan. While Paul Heyman fucking dabs everywhere.
To break kayfabe real quick, I was gonna take notes of like stats and shit. I'll just rewatch it and do that afterwards, it's fine.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Harambe eliminated by the Red Ranger, and a Polar Bear still dominant in this one.
And of course, with this ring emptying, we can now, when the time is ready for Mr. Malloy to press the button, see more names enter this ring. The Polar Bear's in trouble!
With the Polar Bear out there.
Polar Bear's gone!
Ben 10 not even needing to use his watch, just taking out a Polar Bear with the punches from the small kid, and now dueling elimination chances, both with similar sets. And oh boy, we're getting sexy in this house.
And if you want to know how much money we pay our wrestlers, look no further than the fact that this man has stepped into the UBW ring.
And he's taking bumps for the Red Ranger. And a very impressive dropkick, and Red Ranger grabbed by the throat, but Kevin Nash saving Rocky DeSantos.
Now he's trying to boot him himself. A vanilla midget, one would say. Tyrus has got Ben 10! Oh!
A big choke slam by the former Funkasaurus.
And current NWA World Heavyweight Champion. Here comes Tommy Vassetti from the streets of Vice City.
Someone who knows his way around a ring like this. Someone who knows his way around danger. Tommy Vassetti, ready to take care of business. Right now, Tyrus and Ultimate Warrior fighting. Rocky DeSantis and Kevin Nash, and Tommy Vassetti and Ben 10 are your pairings.
Warrior's gone!
Rocky DeSantos eliminating.
He didn't even need a Megazord. Against Kevin Nash gonna follow suit?
Not going to be happy about this is the one.
Oh my goodness. No! Here comes a big threat.
We thought that we were already out, that we were out of the frying pan, and just fully out of the fire, but instead Optimus Prime showing up.
You want to talk about a clash of the Titans, Kevin Nash and Optimus Prime.
Kevin Nash really proving that Diesel name by fighting a truck and really being equal footing with someone who is a semi-truck.
Oh! Who knows how many more Autobots are going to follow Optimus Prime! And now shit's about to get scary.
And both DeSantos and Nash trying to eliminate Vercetti, but instead he does manage to survive. And Jason, someone who we do have to watch out for, a known killer in the ring.
Rising all the way from Camp Crystal Lake, who knows, he's got murder on his mind all the time.
Ben 10 trying to eliminate Kevin Nash. No, Tyrus still working on DeSantos.
Tyrus, I believe, is the longest lasting person in here so far. And here comes Suzuki Midoriya, number 18.
Let's bring out some All Might. It's time for the All for One. Sorry, One for All. One for All coming in and already going after the biggest, perhaps the biggest evil in this.
I don't want to alarm anybody, but Tyrus did just powerbomb a fucking monster truck in Optimus Prime.
Of course, you could say if you were to powerbomb Kevin Nash, both of them.
Speaking of Kevin Nash powerbombs,
and oh my lord!
A jackknife to the beast that is Tyrus.
Just launching Tyrus across the ring, and Ben 10 with him shutting his own to flex.
Oh no, Nash is in trouble.
Optimus Prime, and
Nash is
Diesel on Diesel Crime. Semi-truck eliminates Big Sexy.
I think that may be a tag team we're looking at in the future.
If so,
Diesel Power.
Looks like he might be giving a little bit of respect to Optimus Prime out on the outside, just more frustrated with his loss. Rocky DeSantos working right down on Jason Voorhees. And as we can hear from the crowd, this is awesome indeed.
Agree, what a way to kick off Updog Blues Wrestling. And to think, we've got a women's rumble still yet to come, and 2 more. This is the first of 4 Royal Rumbles.
As you mentioned at the top of the show, 2 men's rumbles, 2 women's rumbles.
And I will say that nobody that's in this rumble will be in the next one. Yes, so this is your one shot to become the champion right away, or to become the inaugural champion. You lose here, you don't get another shot.
And I do believe that we have some other people who are not going to be in these rumbles still signed to our company.
Oh, and there goes Tommy Vercetti, at the hands of Jason Voorhees. Tyrus is just lifted up to his prime up, and there comes Miles Morales.
Miles Morales, not to be confused with the pro wrestler that took the same name. Now, don't die, Miles, but Spider-Man coming in. Venom.
You're talking about Venom. You're talking about Venom having those spider powers to spin the cat, and oh my god! Miles just clotheslined Optimus Prime out single-handedly.
Really showing off that superhero power, but of course, a superhero sometimes has to face off against an unimaginable evil like Jason Voorhees. But Rocky DeSantos!
Shoutouts to Tyrus, he's been in that ring for a while.
Of course, as we've mentioned before, he is the only one with actual pro wrestling experience.
I mean, we've had other pro wrestlers enter, but they haven't lasted quite as long as he has. Tyrus was the first proper pro wrestler to enter the ring. And he's outlasted Kevin Nash and the Ultimate Warrior, and... and speaking of pro wrestlers! The base god himself!
Great O'Khan coming in here.
And Tyrus has got Great O'Khan. What a face-off! And oh my god!
Tyrus working out right away on Great O'Khan.
O'Khan's gone!
Chokeslam! Great O'Khan in and out right away. Tyrus with the big elimination.
Tyrus.
What a strong showing.
He so far, other than maybe Harambe, has been the MVP of this Royal Rumble, as Tyrus.
Tyrus, Harambe, and Apollo have been tough, but now Naruto coming on in ready to fight off against these big beasts of their own.
And Jason Voorhees has Miles Morales over the top.
The one thing that you might be thinking, Great O'Khan might have been a little bit tired from all of the women backstage. Maybe while Paul Heyman is taking care of the dads, Great O'Khan taking care of the moms.
That is so true. Maybe every single person. Actually, no, I shouldn't say that because I'm pretty sure some of them are underage. Oh, Thomas is gone! Rocky DeSantos.
Rocky DeSantos,
Eliminating the greatest evil.
Someone who has been pretty quiet in terms of our calls, but he has been dominant. He's eliminated.
Oh no, I think he's gone. I think he's gone. I think Jason's got him.
Jason's got him. And now, out he goes, and the ultimate Luxor, Nagato Kameda, looking to show his luck with a Rumble win here. A chance at that multiversal title match is now Naruto has him right away, and a big over-the-top suplex there. Spider-Man facing off against Jason, Deku against Naruto, and Nagato Kameda out there on the side is now.
And then comes Ted Lasso.
What a matchup we have here.
Will said we did see a footballer in this match earlier on tonight. Maybe if Ted Lasso was coaching Harry Kane earlier on in this Rumble, he would have been still in that ring right now. Who's to say for sure?
Now I think we might have seen Jason get wounded a little bit, but he has that horror villain mentality, getting right.
We've seen Jason get wounded a lot worse than that, and he just keeps coming back. I honestly don't know how you can get rid of this man. This might be the winner. Oh no!
Sometimes in order to fight a killer, you need a killer of your own. Nagato Kameda now targeting the legs of Jason, but Chucky the Doll, Rick Steiner's biggest rival.
I do think I don't think you mentioned it on commentary, but Miles did eliminate Deku.
Miles has done very good out here. So far of who's still remaining, he's been the best one out here. Jason has done
he has been
well
the longest. Jason he's made a big impact in a short amount of time.
Mr. Worldwide Pitbull performed, and Naruto is out. Jason eliminating Naruto, but Pitbull coming in ready to rock the world out here.
To Chucky. They do call him Mr. Worldwide, and we've got a lot of worldwide talent in this ring right now. You see, I see America, I see Japan, I see Puerto Rico, I see wherever Chucky's from.
From beyond the grave.
That's other world.
He's actually dead.
Oh no, Spider-Man. Miles meet Peter Parker.
Jason Voorhees taking it to Ted Lasso, but quickly we do got a Spider-Verse coming on here, and if only both of them were, well, actually weren't even needed earlier.
I said it when I said Optimus Prime and Kevin Nash could be a tag team. I think that team writes itself.
The mentor and the student, but
there goes
to see some tough love. Ted Lasso, though, eliminated pretty unceremoniously
next
by Miles Morales. Now, number 27.
Are you kidding me? The Miz.
We have been lacking some real pro wrestling talent out here.
Get him out. Come on, Pitbull. Get him out. Are you fucking kid? Don't know. No, not this son of a bitch.
Worldwide taken out by the former WWE champion.
Of course, a choice from Taylor Woodcock, The Miz, in this world. Get him out. Whoever eliminates The Miz will be my new favorite wrestler in this company. Oh, big DDT by Nagito.
And Miles Morales and Spider-Man, both Spider-Mans, actually fighting against each other. Spider-Man.
Miles is giving The Miz. Jason, gorilla pressing Peter Parker. There goes Chucky.
Difficulty.
Miles is picking up that's a lot of eliminations for such a small guy. And The Miz is gone. And there goes Sway Bolton. And The Miz is out.
Nagato Kameda eliminating The Miz as now Troy Bolton. Gotta get his head.
He's gonna spin him. You know the split missed at him.
I think Nagato might have missed that ultimate Luxor, not quite working out
in the game, you see, so he ain't gonna get hit with that.
Troy Bolton, high school star athlete. Something I don't think we can say for any of the people here. Of course, Jason Voorhees never making it to high school, died as
I think the only person, if my Danganronpa is correct, Jason Voorhees is the only person who's not a high schooler in this ring right now.
That is, in fact, true, as Edward Cullen, someone who I think has been in high school for several hundred years.
Yes.
Kind of creepy. But Edward Cullen, right away playing up to the crowd, and Jason perhaps being the hero that we want, already going right after the vampire.
I mean, you know, it's about there goes Nagito, Smiles with another elimination. And I will say, these 5 and then number 30 will be our final 6 in this match. And who will number 30 be?
Strong performance, but Miles Morales even stronger out here. But who is the 30th entrant?
Nigel McGuinness!
Back out of retirement, Nigel McGuinness.
You never know who's going to show up here in UDW. And that is our 30-man field. And Miles are going to get rid of Edward.
The right way, Nigel going after Jason Voorhees. I think it's a smart idea that Spider-Man and Nigel McGuinness look to be teaming up on Jason for a little bit. And Edward Cullen down quickly, but still holding on. Does manage to break through. Right now, so much strong work between everyone right now.
And Miles could be, he's been by far the MVP of these 6.
But he has been in here for a while.
A Miles Morales. And Spider-Man, Peter Parker has got Jason. Nigel McGuinness has got Troy.
Miles Morales does manage to break through. Manages to prevent elimination.
Jason
Spider-Man eliminates Jason! Spider-Man, your friendly neighborhood hero, eliminating the actual murderer in Jason Voorhees, killed many people,
the most
including
evil man
an entire
in
space
this
station.
And Troy Bolton, Nick Bacon, and Nigel. And there he goes.
And the pro wrestler is out.
We have our final 4. There is a 50% chance that a Spider-Man wins our first Royal Rumble.
Edward Cullen going up against both of them, getting both of them with the same attacks on there, and a little bit of a nice dodge maneuver.
And of course, we know the aim of the game is to eliminate and throw someone over the top row with both their feet hitting the floor, but you will have to weaken your opponent down to get them out. So, the eliminations, they might take a little while, who knows.
And that's something that Troy Bolton has managed to do pretty well. He's managed to avoid a lot of danger, using that athletic status to just get out of the way, know when to be smart. As right now, Peter Parker working down on his protege, Miles Morales.
Of course, they could be gaining respect for each other to join a tag team, and Troy Bolton's out!
Cullen eliminates Troy Bolton!
If one of these men, Miles Morales, Spider-Man, Peter Parker, or Edward Cullen, will be going to...
Maybe Spider-Man and Miles, both Spider-Men, might be working together to take out Edward Cullen and improve the chances of a true hero.
If I was in the same situation as them, I would definitely be trying that. But also, if I'm Peter Parker, I have seen that Miles has been a threat this whole match, so who knows?
Very tough here. Edward Cullen might be in his best interest to just get out of the way and looking to stack Peter Parker and Miles Morales, but instead going with
oh shit, Rainmaker, Bloodmaker,
Edward Cullen, lots of experience.
Oh, Miles,
a big rolling lariat by Miles Morales.
Oh, and there's that high-flying offense, of course, that you expect from Miles. He's setting him up for something.
And another big one,
but Peter
interrupting it.
So I think that throws your theory about them working together out the window.
Question is that a smart thing? Edward Cullen is still out here.
Miles went to try and kick Peter then, but again, he moved out of the way just in time. Because when you've both been bitten by radioactive spiders, you sort of understand each other, I guess.
You have the spidey senses versus the vampiric experience. A nice arm drag by Cullen now.
When you put it that way, it's no surprise that this is our final 3.
Miles getting right back up to his feet.
To be the inaugural Multiversal Champion on the line. Of course, Miles knows a thing or two about multiverses. So does Peter. Edward, not so much. Just joking out Miles in the corner. This is what I was saying earlier on, you know, the mind games, the long, lethargic assaults to weaken your opponent down, to makes them easier to eliminate.
I think one thing that also helps out Edward Cullen, definitely not as quick of a worker as either Spider-Man, not tiring himself out. Right now, Peter Parker going
but in also, Edward did come in the most recently. He was number 29.
As well, Edward Cullen, a few things coming in his favor, but of course, facing off against 2 different Spider-Men, something a bit difficult. Now working up against Miles Morales.
He's used to fighting werewolves, not radioactive Spider-Men.
And Peter just going to watch Edward work down on Miles Morales. Let the two struggle.
It is a good chance for him to catch his breath, so I understand that. But Miles does fight out. And now what?
Instead, some nice teamwork going on.
Shining Wizard, Webbing Wizard, and there's a Sling Blade. Spidey rocking and rolling now.
Peter Parker again coming in with that Shining Wizard. Peter Parker.
Miles is prone for the taking. Get him out.
Now Peter taking him up to the hard cam side.
What's he thinking? He's got to learn where the hard cam is, pal. And Miles still in.
And Miles, even if he did fall out, would not have been eliminated, but a nice show of agility by Edward Cullen.
Facebuster. Yeah, I almost forgot he was in here because the two Spider-Men were going at it for so long. And he's looking all fired up. And Peter in trouble.
But Edward's saving Peter. Now this is something we haven't really expected. Spider-Man, of course, we do expect him to fight. I believe Edward has been in a few scraps before, but definitely not to the extent of
Edward
Miles
fights
or
Edward.
Peter.
He fights werewolf. He doesn't fight superheroes.
Some impressive
Miles is
strength.
another gutbuster. Of course, there is a 66% chance that the Spider-Man wins this Royal Rumble, but Edward is going to be looking to be that 33%. Because those numbers do spell disaster for Edward Cullen, if I'm being honest. Scott Steiner, surprisingly, not signed to UBW, as far as I know.
A big Superman punch from Miles Morales. Some DC
you
versus
could call it a
Marvel
Spider-Man
show.
punch.
It's entirely possible. Is Miles still working
As
on Peter
these
Parker?
wrestlers are all working out their movesets, I'm sure they'll all come up with finishes and cool names for the finishes as we get on. But of course, right now, it's all just about making a name for yourself in this first match. End of days!
As we've mentioned, a lot of these people not trained wrestlers, they don't really know their movesets yet. They don't know what's going to work for them best. Right now, Edward Cullen, a nice round in there, but some good agility from Miles Morales to flip out of it. Peter Parker is down on the ground. Edward Cullen has Miles up on his shoulders, marching him around and just going for a snake eyes.
Oh, and a big side suplex by Spider-Man Peter Parker. I guess if I say just Spider-Man, I'm referring to Peter, obviously. But it's a bit confusing.
Both these with a fantastic showing so
Both Spider-Man drafted to UPW, both just so happen to be in this Royal Rumble. And they're both in the final three of this Royal Rumble at that. And these three have been going at it for a long time now.
It's been a tough match. None of them want to lose on that shot at the Multiversal title.
At this point, you're so close, you've got to feel like it's a failure. Even if you are Miles, who's had a lot of eliminations and been there for a while, if you don't win at this point, you've got to think, especially a young team like that, that might get into his head. And Spider-Man... Oh! Big...
Inverted Shining Wizard.
And a big kick.
Just beating up Edward Cullen.
I say differently because actually, Spider-Man he did have a wrestling match once. He has wrestled Macho Man Randy Savage.
Very true. That was Bonesaw, not Macho Man. You're right. Now Miles working down on Peter. Is the future now, old man?
Peter holding on. Edward has got the best seat in the house, so to sit and chill. He's picking a fight anyway because we don't raise cowards here in UBW.
Everyone told to fight, but not in like a criminal way. It's not. Like
Edward, this could be dangerous.
There was some good leverage on Edward Cullen. Gets him over and perhaps a little bit more beneficial for Edward to be on there. But now Miles Morales, both Spider-Men working together, but Edward Cullen able to work through
the fight of two Spider-Men to stay in this. That's how much this multiversal title means to these men. And Miles is coming.
Big super kick. Miles is out of here. Edward Cullen.
And Edward
looking to get out Peter, but no. Peter Parker just able to get in. But
now just like that, there were two. Miles, round of applause. One of the MVPs for sure.
What a showing from Miles Morales. Still a little bit new.
Again, like I said, he might be thinking that he failed, but there's nothing to be ashamed of here tonight.
Absolutely nothing to be ashamed of. Is a big facebuster there by Edward Cullen.
And Edward, Spider-Man's in trouble now. Peter may be in trouble. Edward Cullen, Spider-Man fighting off of it.
Spider-Man having to fight hard into this one. Edward Cullen lifting him up. And now that it's just a one-on-one, Edward Cullen, I think, is in the advantage. Doesn't have to worry about the fact that there's two Spider-Men on him. Now just the one to worry
say that about Peter. There's just no third person in general. And there we are, the big face-off. One of these two men will be 50% of our first Multiversal Championship main event at the first pay-per-view still to be named.
Both of them still feeling each other out, getting a little bit of a rest. And really taking advantage, trying to remember all of what they've seen in the match from the competitor. Peter Parker over the top rope. Edward Cullen.
Going
towards him down.
This could be the end here.
Edward Cullen wins!
Edward Cullen, the first winner of an Updog Royal Rumble. He's going to the pay-per-view to wrestle for the Multiversal Championship. What a match!
Edward Cullen, truly the hero that we were expecting to come out of this. Had a fantastic showing. Of course, it did benefit from showing up very late.
There he is. He's pointing to the sign for the pay-per-view, but we haven't named the pay-per-view yet, so there's no sign up there.
He's pointing to the multiverse right now.
He's pointing up. Who knows what lies beyond? But there is the very first Royal Rumble of UBW, Fort Slayer Mathis.
What a showing by Edward Cullen in order to make that work. Edward, just a fantastic worker in that, and now it is time to find out who our second competitor will be.
We'll see you next time for the Women's Royal Rumble. And of course, Edward Cullen, the first Royal Rumble winner, but now we're going to find out who the first woman is to get a shot at the Multiversal Women's Championship.
Here in Updog Blues Wrestling, we are not just about the men, but we are also about the women and children, but not in an Anakin Skywalker way. We are not committing any murders here that we can't revive you from.
We have a female roster as big as the men's. And this match will be just as competitive as the last. And
everything just perfectly balanced. All things should be. Thanos not showing up in that first Rumble, but could be someone who shows up in the future.
Of course, we do have our initial roster, but people can drop and join at any point. Breaking kayfabe, I'm not sure how that would work, or if the person who wants to add them would have to drop one of their draft picks or anything, but we'll work that out at a later date. Anyway, Royal Rumble number 2 time. Who's your bold prediction for who we see here tonight in this Royal Rumble?
I think there's a lot of different options, but right away,
I recognize that music.
And I mean, definitely a good choice right out of the start, but of course you do have to worry about
the Samoan Bulldozer. God of freaking war.
Gardevoir coming in, and of course Psychic Powers, Aura Powers, someone that you definitely have to worry about, because she might not even have to touch you to throw you over the rope.
That is not something I considered, but you are so right.
And Psychic Powers from Gardevoir, some music,
big fan of the trumpets, Gardevoir.
Of course, the fanfare coming on into the ring, and as we said in the last one, here at Updog Blues Wrestling, you can see anyone at any time, and you never know what you're going to see.
Yes, this is just one of 30. Who knows? In the first one, we saw a wide array of people, from a real-life polar bear to Paul Heyman to Tyrus to Edward Cullen, the winner, to Optimus Prime.
Truly anything possible here in Updog Blues Wrestling. I do not know the IVs or EVs of this Gardevoir.
This Gardevoir might be defensive, or she might be offensive, and that will really dictate how long she can last in this match. But so will whoever she is facing up against in the opening 2. That's a Yu-Gi-Oh theme if I've ever heard one. It's Taya Gardner. Okay.
Go on.
Practicing her shadow boxing on the way down to the ring. I don't know if you noticed in the shadows there is a dolphin on the stage. That is our interviewer, Sergeant Doom.
Taya Gardner, one of the best Yu-Gi-Oh players out in the world. Someone who you definitely got to be watching out for. But of course, right now, the classic rivalry of what the better trading card game is between Pokemon or between Yu-Gi-Oh.
To to complete the rivalry, we need a Beyblade character and a Digimon character. Who knows? We may see them be 3 and 4. Who's to say?
We never know what we're going to see out here, but Taya Gardner and Gardevoir coming in right away.
Oh, a big knee by Taya. What a knee.
Taya Gardner now some ground and pound on Gardevoir.
Gardevoir's skirt incredibly short. Doesn't look properly dressed to compete here tonight.
Now coming on in the third competitor in just 5 seconds.
Of course, but we'd already seen an elimination by this point in the men's rumble, so Gardevoir's done better than Venom did in that men's one. And here comes Utami Hayashishita.
Utami Hayashishita, one of the best wrestlers in the world, and looking to eliminate Gardevoir, but
maybe I spoke too soon.
Taya Gardner continuing that bad luck from the #1 spot by eliminating Gardevoir right away.
Our combined #1 entrance lasted about a minute and a half. But who's going to be #4? Of course, Harambe and the Polar Bear were 2 and 3 in the men's rumble. They did quite well for themselves. So maybe Utami and Taya will go the same way. And here comes Hinata. Taking it right to Taya from the get-go. Big back elbow.
And of course that all-seeing eye someone who definitely can predict what someone's going to see, because you're not really going to be able to sneak up on Hinata.
Gardevoir was the same. Of course, those two could be a formidable tag team if they do come together.
Right,
of course, along with trying to become the first women's Multiversal Champion, you do need to look out for a potential tag team in the future, and here comes Stephanie, all the way from Lazy Town. As he said, we are all about the men, the women, and children. And she's not a man, but she is the liar too.
Now Hinata, not worried about any child abuse laws. This is...
Any children have signed off on any injuries.
The parents also agreed to it. It's fine. Don't worry about it. We have a good legal team.
Well, Robbie Rotten in the case of Stephanie, I guess. Here comes Yeji, #6. We've got a wide array of talent here, you know. We've got Korea, we've got Japan, we've got Lazy Town.
What a showing out here. Tommy working down on Hinata.
Mr. Worldwide in that first match, really showcasing his reach here tonight.
Pitbull, someone who, now, seeing him backstage, he's been on the phone quite a bit, and you might be thinking maybe he is building up a full worldwide group.
That would be something.
Never really know.
Here comes Liv Morgan. Tay gets the Miz and Liv Morgan in these Royal Rumbles. His influence is really showing.
True Americanism here, finally. Liv Morgan coming in, and right away,
taking Stephanie down. Oh, and Tay with a big, phenomenal forearm to Hinata.
Taya has been very, very aggressive in this match so far. Someone who has been able to fight through everything, and she's been up and down all a lot, and Hinata with the punch to the snatch right away.
That is an interesting move using a women's Royal Rumble. I'll leave it at that, but Yeji getting time to breathe from that one. And here comes May, #8. All the way from Little Root Town.
And perhaps looking to avenge Gardevoir, but definitely going right to work on May. Stephanie and May, roughly the same age.
I was going to say, combined age of about 18 here. Utami, power bomb to Taya over in the corner there, and not only Liv. Going at it. Of course, with an odd number, you would think that somebody would like to take this chance to catch a break, and that looks to be Taya right now.
Yeah, May
only for 3 more seconds. Oh, here comes another Power Ranger. Of course, Rocky did it right in the men's rumble. So
he did phenomenally. He was a very understated member in that first one.
And now she's come morphed. She ain't playing around, Kimberly.
The Mighty Morphin Power Rangers looking to still become Multiversal Champions. But right now, it is a tough way to show up here.
There's a lot of pink in that ring right now between Stephanie, Taya, and Kimberly.
So much pink going on right now, but we do appreciate all colors out here. whether that be skin or clothes. Of course, Hinata looking a little bit pale out there, but
Liv in trouble.
I think Kimberly might have made a mistake trying to be a little bit generous, trying to be a little bit courteous. Didn't really go after Liv Morgan when she was over the rope. Now is going to be facing some chops in return. It's definitely a little bit of an interesting choice to have the arms resting on the top rope rather than the middle rope. And oh, Kimberly got eliminated!
Oh, Kimberly's gone. I didn't quite catch who it was. Might have been Liv.
Now when we were so focused on other things, I think our camera crew might have missed it.
When I look back, I will. Cameraman Jerry did mess up there.
May with that big Hariyama chop.
She's looking quite hefty, if she doesn't mind me saying. I'm sure she'll get into better shape next time we see her. And Taya delivering stiff knees to the midsection.
Taya has been here since number 2, technically, but they're the same thing.
Oh, and there goes Stefano. He's fighting on. My God. I thought we lost Stephanie, but we have gained Jenny Wakeman.
And something that you have to consider, the first non-human in this group, an actual robot showing up right now, but no problems whatsoever.
A very large robot at that. That's apparently a shoot height. Right now, a stacked crew in here. Jenny Wakeman, Taya Gardner, Utami Hayashida, Hinata, Hyuga, Stephanie, Yeji, Liv Morgan, and May Pokemon. What a group. We've got 2 children and a teenager in the ring right now.
The 2 children are, I believe Taya also.
Oh yes, Taya also teenaged.
Getting in the electric chair.
And of course, again, Mr. Malloy in my ear says no more entries until somebody will be going before we go next entrant.
Poison Rana from Taya Gardner to get out of a precarious situation. Now Stephanie in the corner does manage to fight things out.
How nice neck breaker. Utami taken down by Taya there. 1, 2, and 3 again going at it. Shades of Harambe and the polar bear from the men's handle. But, you know, a little bit different.
Jenny in the corner. And a nice slam there by Utami. But Taya.
Not a nice slam by Utami there. And Taya with more stiff knees and a kick and a forearm. And that's just a flurry of offense. Someone's gone. May just eliminated somebody. It's Liv Morgan.
Liv Morgan and Jenny Wakeman also gone.
Wow, and not just like that, the ring.
Ring clearing out, but
Tommy
Gardner.
Oh, Tommy hanging on. I thought she was gone too. And, oh, Stephanie. Oh, no, I just saved Stephanie's time in this match. Rose plant to Utami. And a power driver by Yeji on Taya, and there goes Hanada. Stephanie, what an elimination that is.
Definitely some strong work here.
I say, as we just saw with Mars Morales in that men's rumble, sometimes the smaller people can be overlooked and start racking up a lot of eliminations.
Stephanie has been fantastic, but Taya Gardner lasting to 11 is Peyton Royce.
Iconic, more worldwide representation if we go down under for number 11. Of
course,
and Utami looking to make quick work of Peyton Royce.
Before coming in, I believe Peyton taking a page out of her best friend's book and asking Sergeant Doom if he is a real journalism. Still have not heard the answer back.
You have no idea if Sergeant Doom is a real journalism.
But Tommy and Peyton Royce look to be fighting, but May kind of breaking things
again,
up.
as you said with Tyrus in the last match, the wrestling experience. Well, I can't even say that because he did lose Liv Morgan, and here comes Ellen Ripley. taking a break from fighting aliens to fighting wrestlers in the UDW.
And
there goes
Stephanie.
Taya.
It's not child abuse if it's two children beating each other up.
That's so true.
Now,
it's just abuse. But that's what we sign up for. When you enter a ring like this, when you enter a dangerous ring featuring dangerous people like May, then you know what you're signing yourself up for.
Now, just a second until our next entrant, Alex Morgan, footballer in her own right, coming on in.
Of course, Harry Kane did okay when he did that, the men's rumble. So, the athleticism of the footballers.
Taya Gardner looked to be in trouble for a moment, but does manage to elbow Utami.
Utami could be in trouble. Peyton Royce. Eliminate Utami! Big clothesline. Oh, Peyton.
And now over the top, but does manage to just avoid it.
Back rake.
Big back rake.
Oh! Ellen taking down May there now. Yeah, she catching a bit. She has been there for a while as well. Like, in the shadows, not really doing much. Because Taya's still in there. That's what's really impressive right now.
Taya going right to work at Peyton Royce in that big punch. Now I'm Ripley looking to teach some sense to these children.
And here comes Sydney Prescott. You know, the horror stars. We saw, you know, a vampire. Whoa, there goes Peyton Royce. A vampire.
Taya Gardner.
I guess it's not technically horror movie because it's Twilight, but horror stars have showed well because for Jason also did it right. So Sydney Prescott, of course, has a history of surviving dangerous situations.
Sydney Prescott, one of the quintessential final girls looking to be the only final girl in this Rumble right now, but Alex Morgan not going to let that go easy.
Oh, big boot by Ripley. Oh, and a reverse twist of fate of sorts.
Inverse twist of fate.
And that music. Speaking of final girls.
Someone that everyone has feared as a child, but Sydney Prescott.
Thankfully, she has left the Garchomp at home. Cynthia. May, of course, not prone to fighting Cynthia. They don't normally cross paths, but
Cynthia's someone who really the big question is how well will she do with our progress? Nearly another elimination, but Alex Morgan just hanging on by a thread.
Oh.
And someone really suited for this kind of situation, Tifa Lockhart, a pugilist in her own right.
The fighters are coming out now. Alex Morgan and May proving their fighting expertise, and Taya is still in there from number 2.
Taya Gardner.
Oh.
I think so far between both Rumbles that we've seen, between both of the first Rumbles so far, Taya has been the MVP between both the women's #1 and the men's.
There she goes!
Here! Finally, Taya Gardner.
I think she's now the longest reigning woman in this match. Now Taya's gone. So, you know, a little bit of retribution, you could say. Oh, no, I break kayfabe. Yeji's on the 6th slot, May's on the 8th, so I think she was 6th and May was 8th.
Yeah.
Anyway, Ellen Ripley and Sydney Prescott fighting it out.
A big clothesline from Alex Morgan. Now working down on Tifa.
And there goes Ellen Ripley. At the hands of Sydney Prescott. There can only be one evil horror woman in this ring.
Only be one slayer of beasties. Now Tifa working down on Yeji, and what a performance from the K-pop star.
Of course, all walks of life in this ring right now.
Multiple Pokemon trainers, a footballer, a professional fighter, an adventuring fighter.
And May's out!
Out she goes.
Sling Blade by Tifa taking Cynthia down. Backbreak by Yeji. Now there's no doubt about it, Yeji's the longest reigning woman left in this match.
And the Empress of Adrestia now coming on in. Looking to take over right now, but Tifa.
An interesting. Oh, I thought that was going to be an abdominal stretch, but I was like, that's an interesting exclusive of Royal Rumble.
Would have been, in the words of Fire Emblem, an interesting maneuver.
And speaking of Fire Emblem, oh god, taken down by Alex Morgan.
Edelgard going to take a little bit of a rest, but right now Yeji also being smart by taking her own rest.
It's just all Tifa and Alex right now. And now Natalia.
Natalia, the Sword of the Shield hero, coming on in. Quite the group we have out here.
But who's the next to go is the real question. Could it be Sydney Prescott over the corner there? Cynthia trying to work her out. And could it be Edelgard? Yeji.
Bring her up.
And there she goes!
She goes! Edelgard eliminated the Cressar, not to blame for that one.
Crossroads! Cynthia's gonna finish the story here tonight. Oh, is she? Because here comes Jamie Hayter.
As some would say, quite a few mothers in this matchup. However, I don't believe the same type that Great O'Con is interested in.
Angel Garza, of course, also paying attention.
Angel Garza watching at home.
Great O'Con and Paul Heyman, I believe, maybe making a tag team backstage as we speak.
Mother lovers and
called parental guidance. And there goes Raftalia.
That's very possible. Raftalia is out. Raftalia not getting as much of a showing here. Not doing as well without Naofumi.
Oh, what a... Oh, feast your eyes. Alex Morgan on Jamie Hayter.
Morgan using those trained football legs.
Who'd have thought that, oh my god, speaking of former world champions, the goddamn Queen is here.
Queen definitely the most experienced wrestler in this match. Only 2 wrestlers and potentially one of the greatest women's pro wrestlers of all time, but Alex Morgan.
I'm just, Mr. Malloy's been in my ears. Charlotte Flair has taken the spot that was intended for She's attacked Margaret Squarepants backstage and stolen her number to win this Royal Rumble match.
Truly a shame that we did not get to see
Margaret robbing us of one of the most over baby faces in professional wrestling. Peaches, peaches, peaches! There goes Alex Morgan and Cynthia.
And Cynthia both out. And Yeji still doing fantastic out there. Has been in for a long time. Not something you would initially expect from the K-pop star, but does manage to fight off Jamie Hayter.
In a further update, Margaret Squarepants walked into the men's locker room today, and then, I guess, had disqualified her from this Royal Rumble match. So Charlotte, I guess, stood up in her place. What a warrior, what a brave woman that Charlotte Flair
possibly
is.
Just concerned about Harold.
True, he could be. Who knows? He could be in the next Royal Rumble.
Maybe in that Royal Rumble number 2.
Could be Harold Squarepants against Edward Cullen at our first pay-per-view.
Right now, Tifa trying to do a nice suplex to Sydney Prescott, but instead gets reversed.
Jamie Hayter and Charlotte Flair, a match wrestling fans would probably like to see. It's happening in UBW. Who'd have thought that when Jamie Hayter was injured and she'd lost that AEW Women's World title, she'd return to the ring, not in AEW, but here in UBW.
Not in AEW, not in Stardom, not in WWE, but instead in UBW as Momo Yaoyorozu coming on in.
Number 22, of course. I mean, you can win from these positions, but Edward Cullen won number 29, so that's the number I've got to keep an eye on for tonight.
Right now, which is, are we going to doubt the person who has been in here the longest, Yeji?
She's been very impressive. Like, working in the... She's got a couple of eliminations, but she's not been, like, super flashy. Which, honestly, might be the smartest way to work a Royal Rumble.
Sydney going to give
Who's number 23? Oh my god, it's Bad Baby!
Cash me outside as Bad Baby.
And down the hatches. Bad Baby's in the Royal Rumble. And it gives a big knee to Princess Peach. Gucci flip-flops in tow for Bad Baby.
All the stars are here.
Oh, Jamie here could end Yeji's run.
Here is working down hard, but Yeji quickly getting out of it. Yeji, Jamie Hayter, Tifa Lockhart, Sydney Prescott, Peach, Princess Peach.
Oh, take Tifa off that list.
Sydney Prescott trying to do a thing here on commentary, but she is more concerned about survival.
Charlotte Flair, Momo Yaoyorozu, Bad Baby, Sydney Prescott, Yeji, Princess Peach, Jamie Hayter. And 7 women, we're still yet to see. Half of the remaining field is in that ring right now. And one of them
going
is rap
strong.
sensation Bad Baby.
And now Momo and Peach getting a little bit of a rest.
Oh, Peach.
Peach comes out swinging right away. Now Momo back to work on the Princess of the Mushroom Kingdom.
Bad
Right
Baby
now,
taking Genji down.
That right side of the ring, very
Two
crowded
musical
right
megastars. If you want to break, you sort of have to pull over to the left, but Yeji has taken the bottom rope, and so has Peach. And now Charlotte taking that. Oh.
Taking a big elbow from Momo. Momo out to work on Jamie Hayter.
Sydney
Would be
Prescott
a
could
world
eliminate Bad
of
Baby
stardom.
here. Bad Baby's in trouble.
Trouble is
And here comes the
the
Black Cat.
Cat comes on in.
Of course, Hardy's a very famous surname in the wrestling ring. Felicia, not related to Matt or Jeff, I do not believe.
As far as we know, is not the case, but we might learn about some familial connections as UBW rolls on through our pay-per-view structure. Right now, Momo working down on Jamie Hayter.
I believe the next, after the two Royal Rumble shows, the next event after that will be a tag team tournament. Where the final will be on the unnamed pay-per-view.
Really, right now, the big thing is trying to feel out who might your partners be. Who are you going to trust?
I do hear that there are some tag teams already formed, but if they're not forming enough tag teams by the time the tournament starts, it will just be put onto a random wheel. And of course, that is men's and women's tag team tournaments.
Again, here at UBW, we do not discriminate. Men and
Charlotte
women
Flair
are both equal.
looking to be the ultimate heel and eliminate Bad Baby. Rock bottom by Jamie Hayter and Sydney Prescott, who's also been very impressive. Not quite as long as with Yeji, but you know. Oh, and Jamie Hayter's in trouble.
Jamie Hayter,
Speak of the
Yeji
devil.
with a big elimination.
Oh, Oblivion! Liv Morgan not in this match, but you know.
Eliminated earlier was Liv Morgan. Sydney Prescott instead going to give a big show.
Oh, Momo just hit natural selection on Charlotte. That's an insult to injury if I've ever seen it. You got to think maybe Charlotte respects that from Momo. Crossroads. Sydney's gonna finish the story this time.
Lots of stories being finished out here, but instead counters back with a modified Rainmaker. And now Black Cat and Bad Baby working together.
Princess Peach in trouble. Power slam by Yeji. And Momo, a power slam and a face buster by Black Cat.
Quite
It's
the
action.
crowd out here. Yeji's
Everywhere
still
we
in
turn.
from number 6.
Probably has, I haven't got the stats in front of me. Probably the longest reigning anybody in Evo Rumble.
Really, only competition would be the final 3 in
Oh,
our
yes,
first
I forget.
men's Rumble.
Miles Morales would be the only competition, really, but here comes
It
Gamora
lasted
anyway.
pretty long, but Gamora coming back on in.
Taking down Princess Peach.
For someone that Paul Heyman will have his eyes on. Unsure if her father Thanos is out and about
That
around
is
here.
true. If he is, Paul Heyman will find him before Gamora will.
Of course, Paul Heyman and Thanos may
But
be
of
most
course, you've got to also
interesting.
think Christian Cage might also be interested.
Also very possible Yeji working down on Black Cat. And Yeji, really the most impressive thing about this performance is that she hasn't really been taking too many rests. She's been active very often in this Rumble.
Cementing herself as the workhorse of this division from the get-go. Bad Baby's still in there. Sydney Prescott's been in there for a long time as well, not quite as long as Yeji, but... Charlotte.
Sydney Prescott, of course, someone who does have a lot of stamina running away from
Oh, a
Ghostface
natural
now.
selection. But you can only run away from Charlotte Flair for so long before she gets you. Of course, I'm sure there are people out there who come to watch UBW to try and escape Charlotte Flair winning matches like this, so...
The Queen...
That's probably going to... That's probably going to rile her up to win this even more. Standing Spanish Fly by Black Cat.
The Queen is inevitable. Now Bad Baby a big slam, dropping Black Cat on her head. Now
Oh, Bad
Yeji,
Baby's in trouble.
two musical
Black Cat.
sensations look to be almost looking to fight, but now That'll be Black Cat with a face breaker there.
This is Peach doing springboard drop kicks and heels. That's the sort of talent we've got here in UBW.
Taking all that experience from her many different athletic achievements. A star in football, a star in
You'd think
baseball.
she would have worn her. You think she would have worn her either her football gear or Olympics gear here tonight for wrestling in, but no, she's chosen to wear standard dress. And there goes Yeji.
Yeji, what a performance!
What a
Round
performance!
of
The
applause.
MVP of this Women's Rumble, but Black Cat says enough of that. There's only so much sentimental attachment here, and Momo making her pay for it. What a bounce!
Gamora going to just completely power through that attack from Momo, but Bad Baby knee to Peach's face, but
Charlotte got Bad Baby locked in some sort of sleeper. Of course, she can't tap out, so I'm not sure what this is accomplishing. Peach is getting a rest. So is Gamora. But Sydney ready to fight. Big forearm to the head of Momo.
Prescott got to stretch out a little bit, but not a smart decision as Gamora.
The flipping heel switch. Peach getting a rest this time, as is Black Cat. Of course, Black Cat eliminated the MVP of the match, Yeji. You've really made a name for herself in this match here tonight.
Yeah, she's someone who management is certainly going to keep their eyes on here. And some tag team offense.
Absolute clothesline by Sydney Prescott to the head of Momo.
Momo was working with Black Cat on Gamora a little bit, but instead just gets eaten up by a huge lariat from Sydney Prescott. Now Kate Bishop.
You gotta think maybe her and Gamora, an alliance could form of some sorts. And Charlotte and Momo in the corner over there. And Gamora, I take that back. There's no alliance at all. They're fighting.
Going right at each other.
Black Cat. Oh, Peach is gone.
Peach is out. Sydney Prescott, I believe, eliminated Princess Peach.
Yes. And Black Cat, now Gamora's got her in trouble.
Bad Baby. Stalking her way over, but instead going after Sydney Prescott, the biggest threat in the match.
We do have to point out Sydney is now the Iron Woman in this match, now that Yeji's out.
Sydney Prescott, the one who's been in here the longest, but Bad Baby.
All that experience of running away and making sure she survives to the very end. She's going to do the same thing with this Royal Rumble here tonight, it seems. And Bad Baby's got Black Cat. And
out goes Black Cat! And
Gamora.
Bad Baby
chokes around the Bad Baby. Oh, she's countered it! Look at the absolute incredible in-ring acumen of Bad Baby. Could she be our first multiversal women's champion?
He has been impressive in this showing.
Whoever eliminates her, I'm sure, will be told to cash her outside. Perhaps it will be Belle Delphine.
Belle Delphine, rumors that she is out here.
Rumors that she has signed a contract with UBW.
Gamora trying to eliminate Bad Baby. And
now here's Dawn. We saw May and Cynthia earlier on. Why not complete the trio?
Of course, someone who also a lot of Pokemon representation out here, but Gamora.
And there goes Charlotte.
There goes the Queen. Gamora saying that there's only one who is inevitable. It should be her.
And now Sydney and Dawn fighting off Bad Baby and Momo. Kay and Gamora have foolishly said they might work together because they both are Avengers of some description. Big choke slam. And speaking of Marvel, I guess, here comes Spider-Gwen.
Of course, the big three at the end. 2 Spider-Men involved. Now a Spider-Man.
And of course, Wow specifically, a woman she knows very well. Did very well in that men's Royal Rumble. And a spear by Gamora.
Gamora, probably one of the physically strongest out here. Really, I think the only competition may be Momo.
Correct.
And of course,
there's still got 2 more women left to go.
But Dawn, someone who
a big forearm.
Gwen not going to let up. And Bishop, Kate, and Gamora fighting for a while out there, and
the phenomenal entrance. Of course, Edward Cullen won from this number. I don't wanna try Jinx Velma, Jinkies you could say, but
no Jinkies out here. But Spider-Gwen going right at her, and
Gamora German suplex to dragon suplex to
triple suplex combo, and finishes off.
What a trio!
Jacket.
And of course, these 8 and then number 30 are the last 9 women left in this match. We could be looking at our first Multiversal Women's Champion in this ring right now. Stunner!
Oh, hell yeah.
Stone Cold could be in the next Men's Rumble, who knows?
Entirely possible. He's defeat by Sydney Prescott. She has also been in here pretty well.
She's the longest reigning, now Reggie's out.
Men's Rumble, maybe didn't see too many people last all too long, but this Women's Rumble...
We've got a lot of Iron Women. We had Yeji, we had Taya, we got Sydney. I think Momo's been in there for a while.
Momo's been in there for a hot minute. Now...
That Baby, also not been there for too short.
That Baby has been very strong in this fight. The smallest...
But she could be out now.
She's Velma a little bit.
She's the smallest here because Dawn is oversized.
Yeah. Well, fix it. Size needs to getting fixed at some point.
Yes, since I've breaking kayfabe, since I've recorded this, I have fixed them all. Yeah.
And I think we need to fire that cameraman. There's a lot of legal repercussions for that one.
Of course, number 30 knows that she's not coming in until someone's going to get eliminated, so she's waiting for these 8 women to beat each other up before they eliminate each other, because that'll make it easier for her.
Our rings not. We have great rings out here, but not.
I'm just saying. I'm pretty sure when Harambe and Harambe and the Polar Bear in the ring together, that weighed more than this combined. Oh,
most likely, yeah. I think maybe the Polar Bear by himself could.
I was gonna say, yeah, just the Polar Bear. And Sydney, neckbreaker on Gwen.
A double chokeslam and Spider Gwen is out.
Double chokeslam by Gamora and Bad Baby.
Still doing a fantastic job out there.
Actually, you could agree, Gamora and Bad Baby. Equal team. Same power level. Bad Baby.
They're going right to work on Kate Bishop. We're about to see who number 30 maybe eliminate Kate Bishop.
Eat, sleep, elimination, repeat for Bad Baby!
Oh, what
that Z360 by Dawn. All the way from Twin Leaf Town. That's what it's called.
I had to remember. Well, or Sand Gem.
Yeah.
Depends on your...
Oh, Velma's out as well! Sydney Prescott.
Jinkies to that.
Number 2 MVP of this whole match. Other than Yeji. And here's the countdown, number 30.
Number 30 coming on in.
Who will it be?
Dawn and Momo working together. Or working on each other, I should say.
It's Queen Maeve. The deputy of the 7, of course, now has the chance to enter this match and just win. Because there's a lot of eliminations, and there goes Dawn.
Momo takes out Dawn.
Maven and Gamora, that more evenly, someone more even to her power level.
No ice beam shenanigans to save you
match
there.
For Maeve.
Sydney struggling on the ropes, but does manage to get saved.
And there she goes! Maeve eliminated by Momo. That was a very short cameo. I was saying number 30 would have the advantage.
Right now, Momo Yaoyorozo, Bad Baby, Sydney Prescott, and Gamora. Your final
Sydney Prescott's been in since I want to say like number 12.
I believe all three of them, Gamora is the exception, have been in for at least 10 competitors. I think all of them were in the season.
Our final 3, Bad Baby is still in there.
Sydney Prescott now thrown into the corner. Bad Baby still can be working. Gamora, is she going to help out eliminate Sydney Prescott? No. Instead, we're going to take a little bit of a rest.
Sydney.
I think a smart decision from Gamora to let Bad Baby and Sydney Prescott fight it up. We did see this in our men's rumble.
Peter and Spider-Man and Miles and Edward Cullen. Gamora with a Shining Wizard, not Shining Wizard, Sliced Bread even. Oh, and an STF from... I don't know what the strat is here, but it's given Bad Baby great time to rest down here. The fan favorite, Bad Baby.
Sydney Prescott, really a lot of fan favorites out here, but I do think that Bad Baby does have the crowd on her side. Gamora.
Again, I'm sure we'll establish
and it's over time
who the baby faces and heels are. Then Bad Baby.
The Bad Baby face, you could
Oh my god! She's gonna do it!
Bad Baby!
Is Bad Baby gonna go to the pay-per-view? Get her out!
He's got Gamora on the ropes.
Silver King! Bad Baby! He wins!
Bad Baby
wins the Women's Royal Rumble. I am speechless.
Bad Baby. A lot of people think that she wasn't up to the task, but the entire time she wanted to prove them wrong.
You can cash her in the main event of our next pay-per-view.
What a showing in this Women's Royal Rumble. Bad Baby with the performance of a lifetime.
And that ends the first two Royal Rumble matches here in UBW. Next time, and that'll be very quickly because now I'm going to finish it. I'm going to want to try and set them up as soon as I can. We'll get back to you for the second men's and women's match as we find out who'll face Edward and Bad Baby at yet to be named pay-per-view, which I will hopefully have a name for next time we record. Any final words from Slayer Mathers?
Just a very impressive performance for both of our first two Rumbles, and really just showing off the star power that we have out here at
and really
UBW.
establishing a lot of people made a name for themselves. I'm sure management, which includes us, and Sergeant Doom, and Jerry, and Dave, will take notice of all of it.
And already firing some interns who definitely are going to jail.
And so ends episode 1 of UBW. A new era has truly arrived, and spearheaded by Bad Baby.